Oh, okay, so it's on the
Do
24th.
you use that technology at home?
We'll be there.
Not this one.
I can't wait to talk to Jim.
That's a, what do you call this?
It was 80, and I just paid more, so it's like 85.
Looks the same, it's not the same.
Yeah.
45. Yeah, so just a little over right now. I like my grade, yeah.
Don't have much control over
So I was doing that to justify, when you asked for 100 grand this year, they can see that, that's good.
Right.
Let's call the meeting to order. All rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll make a motion to accept the February 17th minutes as written with the change on page 4.
Second.
All in favor? I will make a motion to accept the executive session 1 minutes for February 18th as written.
Second.
All in favor? I'll make a motion to approve the executive session 2 meeting minutes from February 18th.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah, I get it. I remember that. I don't know what that one is.
Yeah. Then somebody's, what do you remember about that? Yep. Payroll, payables are done. We don't have any ADA update. Want to do anything there?
No, just the training and that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess that was, when was that, last Wednesday, right? ADA update, all town employees, attended ADA specific training last Wednesday at the town office from, was it 10 to 1? So, we are ADA updated. Okay. Department heads, Ms. Boyle.
I don't have anything this week.
That was quick.
Yep.
ACO.
I attended the ADA training, filled out some reports. Had a deceased farm animal call. It was on somebody else's property, had to remove it. Welfare concern and stray cats. That's it.
All right, Chief is at a conference. His report, 1 motor vehicle accident, 5 medical calls, 1 snowmobile accident, 1 mutual aid to Denmark for an investigation, 1 citizen assist, vehicle stuck on snowmobile trail. He met with HEB Engineering, trees are being removed at the fire station lot, and he is currently attending a town wardens meeting tonight in South Paris. So you can keep that for. The only guy that's got a badge in the room.
I have a badge.
I said the only guy.
Guy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I have a badge.
That would be the health officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I could take a minute and go back to the ADA, I would like to make a few comments on those classes the other day. first and foremost. It was very well attended by the town employees. Not only was it very well attended, I was really impressed with the amount of information that these employees had during the course of the session. The two speakers would ask questions or raise a scenario, and there were any number of people in the audience, our employees, that would respond, that would answer. I even, and this is just my Irish paranoia showing through, but I would say the last half hour to 45 minutes of the class was the instructors trying to offer up scenarios of information, almost in a way to catch the audience. You don't know this, and we're gonna lead you down the path. Instead, there were any number of times when, before they had a chance to finish what they were gonna ask, there was already an answer being offered by people in the audience. Seated directly in front of me, Michelle and Lynn Boyle were two of the folks that I've just been talking about, and those two alone shut me up. I didn't have anything to jump in on because I didn't know what the hell half the time they were talking about. But anyway, it was very well attended, and our folks did very well. Today, I talked with the young lady from the DEP that's in charge of this area. She's still hesitant about offering me a day for the look around up at the transfer station. She says the weather, the snow, et cetera, but we are looking at probably now the latter part of this month, or maybe even into April sometime now. But as soon as I know, the Public Works people will know.
Now, is that our annual inspection for licensing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the DEP version. And in fact, that's the key word, licensing. This thing from MMA, they are not empowered to offer any license whatsoever. What they want to do is give you information and tips and stuff. And quite honestly, I looked through it all a couple of years ago, and it was quite extensive. And I thought at the time when I saw what some of it entailed, it would have been a tad expensive even. So I said I didn't think that I wanted to participate in it last time around. He suggests, this guy that does this, he suggests that we look at things in his information. Well, for his information, the things that he suggested is the things that we already have. Those, when I say we got a class and it's a mandatory class, I get my information from information that the state and OSHA and them give us. And he's referring to that. We're working from it right now. So I think we're doing okay. That's about it, I guess.
Thanks, Bill. Code's not here, Public Works is not here. I have questions. What do I do?
Let's continue on.
Skip it.
Yep. Public Works, I'd like to say something that, Public Works is, posting the roads. Public Works will be posting the roads March 15th, so they'll be posted from March 15th to May 15th. It's posted on our Facebook page, on the sign out front, and on our website.
It's on this on Facebook.
On Facebook,
I looked
yeah.
up posted. Yeah, I saw that. I was kind of surprised to see it, but then with the temperatures, I was,
Well, temperature's up and down so much,
yeah.
just a safeguard.
Yeah. A lot of other towns are already posted.
Yeah. It's gonna change fast when it does.
I got a sandstorm. Oh, yeah.
You don't have any information.
Rec Director, I see you're here.
Yes, I'd like to report on the rec department. As many of you know, many of you don't know, I've been on family medical leave since January 19th, caring for my family. This week I'm scheduled to return back to work. A concern I'd like to address with the board, if I could. I was notified by an administrative member of SAD 13, Freedom Elementary, about an employee giving their notice to take the job as the recreation director of the town of Brownfield.
Who's SAD?
And I'd like, Freedom Elementary, and I'd like to ask the board if I've been terminated.
Have you, I can answer your question. Have we had a meeting? That's a yes or
That's not
no.
an answer, that's a question.
That's, exactly,
You're answering a
that's,
question with a question. Have I been terminated?
have we had a meeting? So to answer your
I have
question,
not been terminated
so
in the meeting, no.
the answer to your question is no.
Okay.
But have we had a meeting?
We've had many meetings,
In the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
not when I'm on family medical leave.
Okay, there you go,
So the answer to the question is no.
correct. You have not been terminated.
And
You
has
will be-
someone
you will
been
be-
hired?
You will be fully aware.
Okay, and
if
has
that
someone been
happens.
hired for my position?
Nope.
Okay. Because Freedom Elementary contacted me to confirm that the employee had given their notice and she was receiving the job as the Brownfield rec
Oh.
director.
Wasn't that, is there an illegal act that just happened?
Don't know. I'm not from New Hampshire, so I don't know.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Committee updates, communication, they haven't had. a meeting, have they?
Yeah, there's nothing to report. We will be having, meetings. We postponed the last one.
Right.
Can I ask who is on the communication committee? And what exactly do they do?
I'm on the communications committee, Alice, Laura Amica, Vinnie Lanavera, and 3 other people that never show up. I'm not sure what their names are. And what we do is we have meetings to try to come up with new ideas on the best way to get information out to people. Such as we've been working on people subscribing. Last I checked, we were still at 37 people that have subscribed. And this function here means you can get alerts on email or by text every single time we put an event or something on the website. So it's a very good tool. People need to start utilizing it. So that's one of the things. And so during meetings, we talk about how we can go out to the people and get them to subscribe. So we were talking about, the next election, we'll get out there and have a tent out right outside the door and try to get people to sign up at that point. And we haven't had too many meetings, but that's what we're trying to focus on, getting people to subscribe so they can get the information so they can stay informed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Public safety?
We met last week, reviewed bids for clearing the lot, and we settled on one, Estes. They were both the lowest bidder and seemed to encompass the most for their scope of work. So we recommended that to the board. I believe the chairman signed a contract for Estes to do the land clearing. Day Logging Company was there today and cut all the trees down. So we shouldn't have any worry about the bats at the moment. We've contacted 3 engineering firms, to start getting bids and quotes for their scope of work to move forward with engineering and site plans and all that. We had one meeting this morning with one of those engineering firms, site visit at the fire station, which was a very good meeting, in my opinion. I think we're trying to do another site visit next week with one of the other firms, and we'll be continue moving forward with that. Grant issue.
Them and dispose of old house.
Oh, the old-
Yes, at the moment we're not
Yeah.
using
We'll find
June
those.
Alright,
That's
Is
their
that
way,
supposed to go
their
in this
scope
round on
work
the
works,
house? Will they
not
tear
the
it down?
federal government.
yes, the whole lot can be stripped.
Alright. And that Nathan guy sent that email. That Nathan, whatever it is, he was.
Comp plan,
Comp plan's moving along, we're, updating the implementation list, and, next meeting, somebody will be here to go over chapter number 2, and I forget what that is, I think it's natural resources, so, things are good.
community resilience,
Holly Hazard, the chair of the committee, received an email today from a lady by the name of Ashley from the state. Number one, asking her to delete the part for an energy audit, and then also asking her to confirm that all 3 bidders for the heat pumps had included whatever rebates might be available. And what she did in turn, she forwarded that to Tamara, who is the person who completed the application, for her to address that with Ashley. But as we know, once we, after we reviewed the bids with the 3 bidders, they really told us that there's no rebates for us. In fact, one bidder said if you really wanna get the rebates, you're gonna have to spend 3 times as much money in order to get them. It's much more complicated. I don't have all the information, but, you know, for instance, one thing is, it would have to be your primary source of heating and cooling, which would mean you'd have to shut your boiler down.
Yeah, that was the guy from Freiburg. Field Electric?
Not Field Electric, he was the second. There was the third guy, and I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, the rebate thing was, they were,
Yeah, and Scott said the same thing from Intervale Stove,
Yeah.
and Field Electric said the same thing, that, you know, like, if you wanna try to get them, you know, there's a lot more things. It's not just a matter of, hey, we're putting in heat pumps, give us a credit. There's a lot more involved. So, anyway, we should hopefully hear back from Tamara soon, and, hopefully that's the last hurdle, you know, as far as getting the money.
that's a good time, because in the brief there, Scott said that April would be the time for it to start anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
so, yeah. Budget?
Gina and I are working on getting the last 2 sets of minutes to Patty. But prior to that, we need a vote, so I will get that email out to everybody and wait for the votes, and I told them I'd like it by Monday or Tuesday next week.
Thanks.
Oh, and also we found someone for monuments.
Deb did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
To work with Jess on this, in all the cemeteries, right?
Well, for the next 5 veteran stones,
Yeah, it's what, 1605 or something like that? I can't remember the number.
1105.
1105.
They're from Lewiston, name is Colette.
Colette, yeah. Yeah, it's a better deal than what we were getting. Sweet.
And Jess will schedule that, and she'll also meet them on site.
Perfect.
Mhm.
We got what, five in that account, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you can sign that, Rick, I'll forward it back to Colette and copy you, Patty, Lynn, and Jess on it.
No.
Is it the copy you dropped off?
Yeah.
You want me to sign that one?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I can do that.
Okay, I want to address something that I've had a few taxpayers come down and see me. It's having to do with petitioned articles. Folks, there's no reason to petition for an article. In the past, we've done articles at the request of taxpayers. Judy Turdo, Vinnie Lanavera, Megan Witt, Deb Merrill, Eric Walker. I'm sure that I'm missing something, but no petition is required. Bring the article to us. We've routed it to legal to make sure it's constitutional and legal to do. And we'll even provide the legal review verbiage back to you. And we don't have a problem putting articles in the warrant. You don't have to do a petition. Bring it to us, we'll get it routed and put it in the book. There's really no reason to have it petitioned. If you feel petitioned, fine, that's not what I'm saying, but you don't have to. Just bring it down to us and we'll get it routed and get it on the warrant, so. Deb Tate, you are here to speak about the,
Assessor's letter.
correct, yes.
I don't know who else in the room is affected by this. These are people who have lots in a subdivision in Brownfield. The assessor sent out a letter. First off, there's no date on the letter. And basically it starts off with, unfortunately, it has come to the town's attention that you have been receiving a favorable tax treatment that is in violation of Maine state law. Goes on about the requirements within a subdivision, and at the time, when I bought my house, it was 9 years after the fact that I bought my house, I bought the lot next door to me, all part of the Holden subdivision, not a problem. Went into the town office, and at the time, Alvina Day was the administrative assistant, and Wanda Bartlett was the town clerk, treasurer, tax collector, in the substation. That's how long ago this was. And if I wanted to combine my lots, I had to fill out this form, which my husband and I did in 1999, which erases the middle line, so I have one big lot. I don't know if anyone else is affected by this. People are telling me they never signed anything, which I have a hard time believing, because mine's been found in the card, tax card file. So everyone should have one, or the office should have this on record. So what they're telling me now is I'm in violation when I signed it for the town to have my have the lot, the line erased. So I wouldn't receive 2 tax bills. At that time, I didn't care either way. They never said I was gonna save money or anything, but we never combined the lots on a deed. I kept them separate. And according to what I was told in 1999, I could keep it separate with this. And then it goes on to say, as per our attorney, well, I don't know who the assessor's attorney is.
It's Ben McCall.
The assessor's attorney is Ben McCall.
Ben McCall, yes.
Okay,
Drummond Woodson.
so what?
Drummond Woodson.
Okay. So they're requiring the town, the lots that we had previously combined for tax purposes be separated and assessed as individual lots of record, which is fine for me. I can't speak for everybody. My lots, the 2 lots I have, are within a subdivision approved by the planning board way back when, like in the 1980s. I wasn't even here in the 1980s.
I was in elementary school, just saying.
I wasn't. So my lots are within the subdivision approved by the planning board, but I do not qualify as being eligible for combined assessments. And then it goes on to say, if you wish to have your lots be assessed as one, you need to go before the planning board for a subdivision amendment. I'm not sure if the planning board can do that. And then they recommend talking to your lawyer or your attorney. And I won't even begin the number of calls I've gotten trying to put people to understand, what do you think we can do with this? We have no knowledge. I mean, we don't have everyone's.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't you go, in order to combine the lots, you have to have some type of legal paperwork that you turn into the registry of deeds that gets recorded, forming two lots into one, correct? Isn't that the process?
I don't know. All
pretty sure
I
it
was
is.
told by the assessor
Yes.
was I needed one,
Yeah.
one deed, everything on one deed, which means I would have to get a survey done by a surveyor with the meets and bounds, prepare the deed,
Correct.
and it's very expensive to do that. It's not me, I'm referring to, it's the other people. There are
All I'm
people
saying
that-
is it's the same process for everybody.
Right, right. And then they talk about grandfathered rights for these lots. I'm grandfathered because in Brownfield, my understanding, we need a 2-acre lot in order to build.
2-acre build lot, yes.
Okay, because I'm part of this subdivision, I'm grandfathered in. If I have 1.2 acres, I can build. So you would lose that if you were to combine everything in one deed in the whole Cape and Rule. But this letter is not very, I don't know who wrote it. I'm assuming the assessors did.
Yes.
Did they run it by anybody?
They don't have to.
Well,
Honestly, they don't have to. What essentially they're doing is righting a wrong. Regardless of what you were
Oh, no,
told
I
in
completely
1999 or 2000 or whenever this happened, we're running into the same problem. There was which I believe Pam there was a revision years ago, correct? To the subdivision?
Years ago,
To what?
To the subdivision
to the
ordinance.
subdivision ordinances.
No.
No, she said no.
Okay, so essentially what's happening right now is information that was provided back then was erroneous. So we have to make it right.
No, I get it.
So the deal, as far as I am aware, is you have to go to an attorney in order to combine your lots, which you should have done to begin with. If that's how you wanted the property laid out,
But there are other
was
things
a
you can
single.
do.
Well, if you, right, and it's gonna be very specific to the individual property owner's wants and needs, okay? So, I sat in with a discussion with Hannah, very well. They have options. Agricultural, due to some of the things that they do on the property, they utilize, wood to heat their home. They have animals, hay, and they could also do tree growth.
Right.
I mean, there are several options for that but it comes down to what the property owner wants.
Right.
And that's why it's gonna take the property owner to see an attorney to get that direction and make the appropriate changes to the deed or deeds plural, however they want to do it.
It's not only tree growth, but they don't have to combine the lots for tree growth.
No, that's not, I'm not
And
saying that.
farmland's
They
another-
have options to
Right.
do tree
The other
growth.
option is farmland.
Correct, agricultural.
So, I mean, so it's,
Yep, agricultural, yes.
You know,
Yeah, there are options.
everyone's up in arms about, oh, we have to, separate them now, and as of April 1st, we're gonna be taxed, and I'm like, well, that's not what I'm reading, and I think I got the same letter.
Yeah, everybody got the same, yes.
Yeah, it should have been easily said by saying, if you have 5 deeds, this year expect 5 bills.
Right.
Because
and
it
doesn't
should have
say
been
that.
billed separately, that's
Mhm.
all. And if you don't want 5 bills anymore, it's best to seek an attorney to see, to have them read your deeds, to see if your subdivision allows you to combine.
Mhm.
And is it beneficial for you to combine, because it might not be. And then, once he can give you an educated decision on how you should move forward, then you would decide, combined it, and then you would have to have a
Right.
deed written and have a survey.
Right.
And have a map made
Right.
for the planning
And
board.
that depends on, in the deed, covenants and restrictions should be indicated, I know in mine it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, we had that, they had that issue down with, on Old Portland Lane too, not that long ago, with the covenants and,
Where's all-
the homeowners, down here off 113, the Hairpin Alley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that whole, yeah, that was, that subdivision there, they ran into some, where the covenants and voting and all that, and they all just decided, you know, what, we're just gonna mind our business and
Right,
carry on.
right, no, I get it, but it could have been a little clearer. I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people are up in arms about this. I'm hoping that they'll go to the planning board tonight. I know people are already doing something, but it's not gonna happen before April 1st.
No, and the worst thing that's gonna happen is you get a few more bills in the mail. You just gotta, for each lot, because each lot can be sold separately.
Unless
That's all.
it's rectified by by June
No, it would have to be rectified by April 1st,
of this year.
yes.
For
So
this-
that's not gonna
For
happen,
this
No.
I
one,
can tell you.
Mhm.
and then they do it for what, September for the November, right?
It would have, then they would be able to go through like some abatement thing if they had them combined
right.
after that.
Yeah, because new fiscal year, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a lot more people coming in.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, but it's not a simple matter of 5 bills,
Mhm.
because each one of those lots gets assessed at a higher value, I believe.
Because they're buildable lots.
Correct, because they are worth more.
Well, but will the town honor, if 4 or 5 lots get put together with a deed, is the town gonna honor that as a
One
large
lot.
parcel that's not
Mhm.
being taxed?
Yeah, and you can always talk,
Because we got the impression that we couldn't combine those lots into one deed.
you,
Can.
it's something you would have to speak to your attorney about, to have them read the deed, because some deeds have things that
It sounded
say-
like a bigger deal than that. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked to a lawyer and they're like, once it's a subdivision, they were saying it's a long drawn out battle to get, and I didn't know whether the town would accept a deed registered, if we got the deed registered all in one piece, or whether it's
I don't
not
think we
gonna be
have, I
accepted
don't
as
think we
one
have
piece of
an
land.
option.
The,
To not
the other
accept
thing
it.
too
right,
is.
if
Subdivision,
it's,
they
if
have
it's
to
a
remove
deed that
Fire.
an attorney wrote, then
Yeah.
you would have to accept it, yeah.
The restrictions in people's deeds, I know a lot of these
Mhm.
subdivisions have like 20 years or something.
Mhm.
Once they expire, doesn't mean that people are off the hook on this.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
Yeah.
is that
They're
this-
not off the hook.
Yeah,
And
it
you're gonna
sounded
talk to
more
a
complex
municipal,
and I didn't know.
you have to talk to a
Real
land
estate
use
attorney.
attorney
Yep.
who understands all that.
Mhm.
Doesn't Freiburg have one up there?
No, we don't.
Not you, down the street, across from the,
Craig
Is it-
Holden?
yeah, doesn't he do real estate?
He's semi-retired now.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he did do,
He
used to do
did,
real
yes.
estate, yeah, yeah.
He actually represented the Holden family when they had the development on my road.
Oh.
Because they're all part of the Holdens, the Holden development.
That was,
Craig Holden.
that was a couple days ago, huh?
Yeah.
I remember when there was no houses up there.
Wait, Jeff has a question too.
Yes.
So I guess,
Go ahead.
I was just saying that I think the planning board has clarity on this. I'd like to know, because of this really, and we're not alone. Other towns in this state are going through the same thing.
That's, how many people in this town are going through that?
I believe 30.
That's unbelievable. What's it, that's
30 out of
that's
30,
unbelievable.
30 out of 2,000.
No,
Pretty low.
that's a neglect. Like, it's not that it's your fault, you guys are fixing it, the assessors are fixing it.
I wasn't
But
around.
as a planning
I
board,
was a child.
from my experience on the planning board, that's exactly what a planning board is for. You go before the town, you have to have approved plat, stamped by a surveyor, approved by a planning board, in order to have that line changed.
I
In
don't
order
think,
to
I don't think,
change
no,
taxes.
I don't think you have, it's a requirement to go to the planning board. If you as the property owner does a deed change encompasses, you don't have to ask.
We combined
I'm
lots
pretty
up at
sure.
our place, man, and all we did was have it surveyed and had the two parcels combined into one.
Yeah, but you
Register
still
of
file
deeds,
the register
done.
of deeds.
Well, registry of deeds, but the planning board, nobody needs to go to the planning board to
No.
have that done. The planning board doesn't
To
doesn't
remove a
do that.
line, that's not,
They
No.
could be, they
No.
could be thinking of boundary line adjustments.
well, that's what it is.
A
It's
lot-
boundary
It's all
line
on the
adjustment.
same
You're combining
property.
two lots, it's a boundary line adjustment.
Not
It is
planning board
exact- That's
doesn't,
why you're getting these letters.
planning board, no. They get them because what they're doing, what the assessors found was
They didn't do a
prop-
boundary lot adjustment.
they didn't, no, it's not that. From my understanding, what the assessors come across was in subdivisions only. Just subdivisions. So if I were to buy the lot next to me down on 113, that's not in a subdivision. I just go purchase the property,
Combined.
have my real estate attorney combine my two properties into one, and it goes to registry of deeds. I have no reason to go see the planning board.
You need
Yeah.
to have
But
a
the subdivision
surveyor
themselves,
done. A survey has to be. done.
right, no, well, usually when you're buying another piece of property, you get it surveyed, so you make sure you're getting every bang for your buck.
Right.
Right.
That's on each buyer to do that. So in the subdivisions, they were created and approved by the planning board. So that's why the people that are having this, that this is happening to, are only the people that are in established subdivisions that the town approved whenever in years. I don't know. I've not seen a subdivision get approved in the 10, 11 years I've been here. It's just hasn't happened. There was talk of one. The application wasn't dropped, so it didn't come to fruition. So, I don't know, folks. But I'm pretty sure it comes down to you as a property owner needs to make the decision if you want those properties combined. If you do, it is on your dime to have them surveyed, do the legal paperwork through an attorney so that they can be recorded at the registry of deeds, and then it is filtered down to the town. And if you had two properties combined into one, you get one tax bill. Until that happens, for each individual property owner, you're gonna get however many lots you bought, is how many different tax bills you're gonna get. But it's my understanding that since that this is actually, you haven't been taxed the full potential on that property from day one. So you've actually had multiple properties for a cheaper tax rate for a long time, however long you've bought it. And if you had the property back when the subdivision was created, say 30 years ago, you've had a tax break for 30 years. That's good.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm sure that we would have combined those lots by deed, like you said, way back then. Except the town said, basically, we'll send you one tax bill, and they went even as far as erasing the lines on your tax map. If you look at our property, the lines are basically erased on your map. So we assumed that this is the way it was, and we proceeded like that. We didn't,
Well, I'm
realize.
not,
And
don't
that's
get,
fine, I mean.
don't get me wrong, sir, I'm not saying it's,
No, I'm not.
this is a good deal,
Yeah, I'm
by
not.
no means,
I'm
you
not
know?
trying to confront you, I'm just saying, so there is a difference between us just putting in one deed and that never been a subdivision. If we put in one deed, will it be considered one lot
Yes.
and taxed accordingly, where the
Yes.
house is on 2 acres is taxed at one rate?
I'm-
And the farther away you get it.
I'm pretty sure I was sitting there when Hannah
Yeah.
explained that entire process to
Well,
you.
She didn't
And
know,
it- Well, she did, she covered it pretty well, actually, because when she got down to breaking it down to you, that the further away you got from that 2 acres, because I'm pretty sure we were talking about the horses,
Yeah.
and we talked about you using firewood because you were talking about the agricultural part,
Right.
because you had livestock on there, horses, if you wanna call them livestock, hoofed animals. But you use cordwood, wood, to heat your home. And I gave you the example, well, a quart of wood equals 1 drum of fuel oil.
Right.
So if you go the agricultural way, you could write off 3 drums is roughly $3,000 now, 3 quart of wood, and it's a reporting. You've accomplished your agricultural of $2,000.
Right.
And Hannah went on and said that the further you went away from an acreage, from the 2 acre lot that your house was on, that the price kept going down to like $1,500 an acre.
Yeah,
in
but
taxable.
isn't there a difference between us putting it into either forest management and agricultural, or just combining?
Well, that's just it.
And not going into the process of.
Well, that's just it. That is, you as the property owner makes that decision. We don't.
Exactly, but how does it get taxed? If that wasn't a subdivision and we were about 30 acres and didn't put it in forest management, didn't put it in agricultural, it wouldn't be taxed as individual lots. It would be taxed cheaper as a big piece of land, right?
If there was 2 separate deeds, no.
Well, it's just one deed of a 30 acre
Then you
piece.
get taxed on the 30 acres.
Right, but
It's a
since
single.
it's a subdivision, so if we put in the deed and keep it all in one deed, do we have to go through the forest management, agricultural route?
No.
And the town will honor that, basically, if we just put it in.
Whatever
You have to have a
your
forestry
attorney,
plan.
well, whatever you do, whatever decision you make as a property owner on joining your lots, whether you join them, you change the boundaries, it doesn't matter. Whatever the deed states is what we are gonna base it on.
Okay.
So if you wanna go the agricultural route, roger that. You wanna go tree growth, roger that. Doesn't matter. That's gonna give us, those 2 programs are gonna give you, it's gonna give you the breakdown. You still got 2 acres that your house are on, assessed at $68,000. And then it'll change. So if you take 2 acres out of 40 and you put 38 of them in tree growth, well, there's a mathematical formula that goes with that. But that's your decision.
But does it have to be put into tree growth?
I'm not gonna tell you you have to do, you can do
Well,
whatever
no,
you want
I
with
know
your
you're not
property.
telling me I have to, I mean, if it's not put into tree growth and it's one 40 acre piece, it's not taxed the same as, 6, 7 acre pieces, correct? Or no, am I correct on that?
I couldn't answer that. I honestly couldn't answer that.
Because, I mean, we got the feeling that the subdivision, the state wouldn't allow us to put those lines back together. That's kind of the impression we got.
That's not the impression I got.
Yeah.
I
Some of the
stuff
lawyers
from
we
both,
talked to,
tree
kind
growth
of-
and agriculture, plus a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I got all 3 things going up my place.
Yeah,
We got 3 houses up there, so we got all that land for that, residential.
sure.
I think there's 10 or so acres in agricultural, and then 70 in forestry. So,
Yeah, I think it sounds like it changes when it gets into a subdivision, it's already been divided once, trying to put it back together.
Well, we combined lots up at our place into one.
Was it a subdivision or just?
No, it was
Yeah.
another subdivision.
I think I feel like that's the sticking point from people we've talked to.
Right.
But, I mean, it sounds bizarre to me, I don't understand it why.
Well, HOA subdivision stuff typically comes with its own little.
Well, there are certain covenants, but they don't apply to combining lots.
You guys have, it's not an HOA though, right?
What is that? I'm sorry.
The
Homeowners Association, no.
No.
You don't have anything
No,
formed
no
up there.
dues, no nothing.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, Debbie, is that something heard that the subdivisions can't be put together, back together, or is that?
Just know that the restrictions and the covenants, even though they state in the deeds expire, they don't. It'll always be considered a subdivision.
I have no problem with that, just,
Yeah.
it's just getting taxed on a 6 separate
The law
lots
is very
compared to
vague.
40 acre
It is
piece.
vague.
Yeah, I'm not being confrontational.
No, not at all, not at all. I can't answer what you, like, asking how much it would be,
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
an
it just
assessor, I
seems
don't know.
like the state is giving us a hard time about putting it back together, and that's what Hannah said, it was a state law, and I can't figure out why it's a state issue once it's, you know, broken up into small pieces by subdivision.
It's good.
Cause it doesn't sound like you have a problem with, or the planning board would have a problem, so.
Is that a housing thing? Did they change zoning to promote more
Well, if
building?
anything, they changed zoning to make it less dense. I
Yeah.
mean, they basically said.
Well, that
don't
LD
want-
2003 allowed clustering. You know, you could put more on a smaller lot.
Yeah, this basically says you can't have more density, you can only have less density. If I have a lot, there's a vacant lot, and my neighbor has 2 lots, we can divide the one in between us and split that. But it then becomes 1 lot and you can't build 2 houses on it.
Right.
It's basically the whole thing was designed, I think, to keep a certain density of population that's not too close, you know?
That sounds like.
Yeah, which is not typical maybe, but that's the way.
I will say this, there's a lot of things come down from the state that we're like, what?
Yeah.
You want us to do what? Okay.
I mean, we're getting the forestry thing looked into, in the agricultural, but I'm just saying, I'd like to combine it all in one deed too, you know, and then we have maybe more options of whether we do it or not, or whether all of it happens or whatever, but I guess we'll see.
But if you ever wanna sell a lot, you won't be able to.
Yeah,
That's what I was just gonna
no,
say.
I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
that's not what I know I know people change their mind, and that's not what I'm looking for. Thank you,
Thank you.
thanks for your time.
Okay. We've got an unapproved rec director job description. It added the building part of it, because we didn't have the building in part, which would be, let's see. The ADA compliance part, which is maintain clearance, de-icing, snow removal, walkways, entryways, and exits. And then there was something back here too. The playground, we have to do the playground, that had to be added because we got the inspection checklist on that. Bill's still, handling the inspection, the monthly thing, you know, like the head of it. That's something else. I guess that was that. So we added those 2, because it didn't have anything to do with the building at all, and now the playground. So we have the playground going as well. So, you want to read over that? And I'll make a motion. So, we already covered the contract for the public safety building. Okay. Water testing. Okay. We had water testing done. We have 2 bids for the annual testing for state standards. One is Summit View Water, and it will be the comprehensive plus radon plus uranium. Total coliform bacteria, E. coli, pH, nitrate, iron, manganese, hardness, sodium, chloride, fluoride, copper, lead, alkalinity, conductivity, arsenic, uranium, radon. There will be a quantity of 4 for now until the new fire department or public safety building is done, which will be Public Works here, the town office, which is also inclusive of the substation, because they pull the water from the same source, and then the transfer station. So those 4 would go yearly for $1,000. And then We have, this one is from Mainline Water and Radon Treatment, and it's, this is the one they just did, right? That's a bill?
No, those are both bids.
Oh, okay.
So his is, I didn't include those.
Okay. So this is Mainline Water and Radon, services bacteria and water radon testing at 4 locations. The samples will be taken to A&L Lab for analysis. This quote will be valid for 2 annual tests and revised if needed due to price increasing at $920. Yeah, but it doesn't lay out what they're testing for, whether it's testing. Bill, did you look at these bids?
I was just gonna ask if I could, I
Yeah.
didn't know that anything like that had happened yet.
No.
Do we know that already?
Only
How much
four.
was Testing water?
2 annual tests, so they do them bi-annual. That might be for 2 years.
No, we have,
You good, Bob, Bill? We don't have to answer on these tonight. 'Cause you guys, you and Bill are making a policy, correct?
yes.
You wanna review these, Bill?
Sure. I'm glad that this
Don't
has
that take
gotten
time
as
to
far as
cover
it's going.
everything?
You would
The
think.
top one is the one that you submitted
As far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
for Matt. The
Okay.
second is the one that I got. Sorry, they might have been flipped around. No, this one was the one you recommended.
Okay, I'm gonna double check with him to make sure these numbers that he gave me was just like in a phone conversation. I don't think he was sitting with his boss when he came up with those numbers. I just wanna make sure.
Sure.
So you got, I'm sorry?
Want me to sign this, we gotta vote on it.
We gotta vote on it. You and Brian read it that way, to make sure we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept the new improved recreation director and building manager job description as written. Second. All in favor?
Excuse me, may I ask, as far as this water stuff goes, there were just recently some tests done,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Are those results available?
Yes.
Okay, could I see those?
I don't know, Bill.
I didn't, sorry, I didn't put them in
I
there.
don't know.
Got a warrant? Got a badge?
Bust your badge out, brother.
I'll give you my ticket, but you give me my ticket, someone's stored.
It's warrant for me, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
The,
Well, you're working with Patty on an annual policy anyway, so.
okay, so the samples that were drawn, they were done in 2 and 3 and 4 different places, were they? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we should cover every building.
Yeah.
So it'd be 4 for now, and then when the new building is put up for public safety, that'll make it 5. So. Okay. We got a notice from Bliss and Associates, dear landowner, has been retained to perform surveying work on the Wright property located at 29 Merrill Corner Road in the town of Brownfield, which is in the vicinity of your property. They just wanna let us know that they may walk on our property to do their job. Works for me. You guys good with that?
That must be, Shannon's got it, yeah.
It's just a courtesy letter. Okay. Why am I doing this? We don't even have these guys. Bergen Parkinson, what's the purpose?
Somebody's leaving and they have records and they wanted to just transfer the records. If we want,
Drummond Woodson.
yeah,
It's the third page, it gives 2 options.
So transfer to Greg Braun, or, well,
Like
where's Greg
follow.
Braun?
That is the guy.
Well, he's leaving Bergen Parkinson, and it doesn't say where he's going. I don't know how to answer that. Well, where's the stuff gonna go?
I
In
thought it was
storage?
going to us, I don't know. What is this?
I wish to retain new counsel and will have them contact Bergen and Parkinson to arrange the transfer of my files. Pam's still here.
She left.
Just walked out.
She does have this also, though.
Huh?
She does have this also.
Joe, we've had Ben McCall for quite a while.
Ben McCall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want us to just fill this out to have it go to Ben McCall?
I wasn't paying attention.
No. This is, you guys used to have Bergen Parkinson,
Yeah,
and that's been years since we've had them.
yeah.
Well, this Greg Braun is leaving Bergen Parkinson, and we need to send our files somewhere.
Wasn't Greg Braun with,
What was that guy's name?
oh, Greg Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hardly used him, when he was with that particular, in fact, we switched, kind of because of that. So whatever files he has, yeah, should send them to the planning board. Cause he was the planning board attorney for a while, isn't that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say send them to, Pam, attention to Pam.
I think they can. It has to go to
It's
another
not
attorney.
an option.
Yeah, it has to go to another attorney, so I'll just get Ben McCall's information.
Oh, it has to go to
Yeah.
another attorney?
Yeah, we'll just have it sent to Ben.
Yeah, send it to Ben.
All right, so can you?
Maybe he could CC us, just so we know it went there.
I'll sign this. Get a hold of Ben, fill out this, whatever, and I'll sign it, because
If there's
I
anything
know
else,
Ben
please
McCall,
wake me
John
up.
Woodson. I'm not sure if they have some way of doing this, so, but I'll just sign this. North Conway Incinerator Services. This is the new contract. It will be good from January 1 and expiring December 31st, 2028. The hauling rate to EcoMaine in Portland, Maine, and ARVRDD in Berlin, New Hampshire will be $700 per container for construction and demolition. The rate to EcoMaine will be $700 for municipal waste and single sort recycling material. Yep. So be it. Make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Good choice. She's been pretty patient with that.
Yeah, she's been very, very patient. So it's a matter of date it today.
I think that's fine.
We got somebody who wants to say something.
Do we have to do the witness part of this?
I think Patty can just sign it.
We sign under witness names? Yes.
How much is that new rate compared to last year? Tipping fee, I mean. Because that's why we wanted that truck.
320.
Yeah.
320 to 700.
So we're paying for that.
And I wanna be fair to Conway Incinerator, because she didn't institute it instantly. She could have. She really, 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 really took care of us, and let it slide. But yeah.
Well, voting and all that stuff.
And the other thing is, Brian, that EcoMaine thing, do they really recycle that? I've been told it just goes to a landfill anyway. Do you know where it goes?
Depends on what it is. Plastics?
Yeah. But how does it get
The
sold?
plastics go right in the incinerator, and they burn that like oil in a lot of places. I'm not sure about what goes on in Portland precisely, because I don't hang out down there.
Believe it or not, they separate all that stuff down by hand.
They do?
Yes.
I'm down there and see it. There are people on the big conveyor and stuff all comes up, and people are picking stuff out.
Yeah, there's a big crew of people doing that. But where it goes from there, that's a different deal. Like I remember,
There was a time several years ago now, but we were getting checks from EcoMaine for the cardboard. It was worth so much money.
yeah,
I don't think that exists any longer, but we used to get checks back for newspaper and cardboard.
Well, up in Jackson, they have a cardboard binder,
yeah.
but that's not worth it either, huh?
Well, thing about that, once you bind up that 1 ton package of cardboard, you gotta deal with it.
Yeah,
You gotta keep it dry until till you get a truckload of them.
yeah.
You know, so you gotta store
Yep.
24 of them, 32 of them, whatever it takes to fill a tractor trailer. And then call somebody to come get it. You know, and then sometimes you're gonna make money, sometimes you're gonna lose money, depending on what it's recycling. Price does this all day, every day.
Yeah, if the market was up, we actually did pretty well when we first started doing it.
Cardboard used to pay well.
Yeah, we did pretty good. We were getting like half of our money back. I think last year we only got like, $2,000, and it might have not even been last year, it might have been the year before.
Yeah, it's been like,
It's been in the tank.
it's been around $3,000 the past 2 years. This year we got $156.
One thing I'd like to make clear, this contract has nothing to do with tipping fees.
Right.
This is only trucking.
And the tipping fees are up too?
Yeah, they both went up in the last 3 months.
$3 a ton, I think.
Yeah, Carberry just went up $3 a ton, and EcoMaine was at what, 135 now? 133, something like that.
For regular household
They were
waste,
85.
it's just under $90. Recycling is $130, and, Carberry is just about $80 now, so they're the lowest.
We've gotten two price increases in the last like 3 months.
In the state of Maine, there's actually a law, it's on the books, that says every community, every city, every town in the state of Maine will be recycling 50% of the materials that they take to their transfer station. And I think it went into effect 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They shut up. They don't say a word about it because no one's hit 50%. And boy, I'm telling you, Brownfield is a ways off from 50%. Because there are reports that are done a couple of times a year. And
That's a little on the utopian side, thinking you're gonna get 50% recyclables.
but it's a law. They actually, somebody thought they were gonna, because it.
We'd have to have 75 people working down there to get that kind of results.
You go to the transfer station now, and half the stuff that's in the trash bin is cardboard. No one recycles anymore, no one even talks about it anymore.
That's not true. I do.
Well, okay,
Just
thank
look
you
at the
if you
tipping
are,
fees and
thank
you'll see
you.
why.
Okay, water extraction ordinance fee policy. The fee types, I don't see any change in these at all. Last signed was 2019, 350. All the numbers seem the same all the way down, both columns. So, yeah. All right. Make a motion to accept and institute immediately. Second.
Yeah, I'd like to look at it.
Yeah, none of the numbers have changed, it's just essentially updating, so, yeah, let's see. Communication form, 219, request that Public Works stop all dumping of fill at 71 Dugway. There's no longer adequate space to dump. Don't want to be held responsible for damage to town trucks. This was emailed to Cliff on 219. So, easy. Yeah, can you verify that? That's no more?
time of your day.
The ACO, you are in receipt of this communication?
Yes,
And
sir.
your reports have been filed?
Yes, they have.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
What reports was that?
There was a dangerous dog or a dog bite, over here on Pond Road, and this was back in January. No, I'm sorry, December. Well, one in December, one in January.
There weren't dog bites either.
Well,
Well, he
just
said there were
dog issues.
dog issues it was.
And then, they had requested the reports for, to file a claim against the homeowner, so it says, so, yeah. Yeah, they had same day reports. So we're good there. Okay, that's all the stuff. There. Okay. You have it.
No, I'm all set.
You, ma'am? Open to the floor. Yes, sir.
I'm not here to complain. That's the first thing I want to say. I'm here because I'm concerned. The two biggest scams going in this state today are metal roofs and heat pumps. Now, let's go back to the metal roof, just for basic. It's done, I know that. But you put a metal roof on because you took a metal roof off, and I'm assuming it was because it was leaking. There had to be a reason to change it. My point is, those screws every 25 years have to be changed. You'll do it again in 25 more years. That's scam number one. Scam number two is heat pumps. I can give you the name of 30 people in this area that have heat pumps that don't use them in this cold weather. They will not work in this weather. I can heat my house for around $7 a day in this cold weather with my pellets. Heat pump would cost me somewhere between $15 and $20 a day. It just does not work. I can show you a house that is vacant, and he's been trying to heat it with heat pumps while he's gone to 50. He had me check it one day, and the best he could get was 42, and it was costing him $300 a month to heat 800 square feet.
Okay, I wanna make sure that we're on the same sheet of music. We're having the heat pumps, that's dual roll, okay? We're not having them installed for the heat part, we're having them installed for the air conditioning part.
Okay.
Because they're able to be placed remotely.
Correct.
So we're not reinventing the wheel.
Okay.
We have,
Well, that's
it's
good.
forced hot water here, we can't get air conditioning out of that.
Now, the second part of this is, this building being built, what, 60, 70 years ago, has a, no, buildings this old, they're tearing down because they can't bring them up to the codes we have today. So, money spent on this building would be better spent on insulating it. I got R60 in my ceiling home and R30 in the walls. There isn't another house within 50 miles of here that's as insulated as mine is. What do you got for insulation in the ceiling of this building? Does anybody know?
Well, Joe can answer some of that.
So Tom, just to give you a little background with the heat pumps, the select board was approached by CEBE, that's the Council for Environmentally Based Economy in Norway. And they came into the select board and they said, look, we can get you a grant to do things that have to do with, weatherization, like climate change, energy, conservation, so forth and so on. And so a committee was formed, but the select board agreed, they signed a paper, those people from Norway were on board. And then, and their commitment was they were going to write the first grant, the application. So we didn't have to really do anything. And thankfully, a lot of it had to do with information that Dickey already had. Like they were shocked that we had all this information ready. So anyway, they applied for the grant for us, and that's what we talked about earlier, that we're kind of one step away from getting the money. So they're gonna give us $75,000, that's the amount right now. They give it to us, they put it in a bank account, and then we use it for these heat pumps. Now, we can also apply, and we can have them do it again, but it'll cost roughly $800 to have them fill out the application. And right now, the committee is looking for suggestions to spend that money, and that's an excellent idea of going back in and insulating that building entirely. And you might say that's putting the cart before the horse, but at the time, nobody brought up insulation. It was heat pumps, mainly for the air conditioning, that was the big concern. So that is a possibility for this next round that's coming
Well,
up.
the cement block walls here probably have an R factor of maybe 12 or 14. They're not even as good as the old house with 3.5 inches of fiberglass. It's insane what we're spending to heat this building. The money, if you wanna save money, insulate the building. You could easily, if that's got a flat ceiling that it can support it, you could put a foot and a half of blown in the ceiling. I just put another 6 inches in my house. I've got 18 inches of blown in the ceiling. I can't believe what that extra 6 inches did.
Sure.
In a house with R30 in the walls and now R60 in the ceiling. And so, when you can heat 1,800 square feet for $6 or $7 a day in this kind of weather, insulation is where we need to look.
It is important, and when you look at this building, would you say, okay, we can't insulate it, or we don't want to, which I don't think would be the case, would you rip it down? No.
No, but
So,
you've gotta find a way to insulate these block walls, either on the inside or the outside.
so probably the first idea that comes to mind is a system that's called IFAS. And it's exterior insulation that's applied to the outside, and then there's an epoxy, let's call it a plaster, for lack of a better description, that you put over it.
Right.
And, like, and it's pretty durable. I mean, like, if you shot an arrow into it, it would penetrate it. But that's another thing to look into, like, that's another possibility. So, both those things, like, are excellent ideas. And then the other thing with the metal roofs, and thank you, I'll get you one of the boxes, but, the washers on the nails are guaranteed for either 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Well, that's what it says on the box, so.
Why did they change the roof on it to begin with?
Because we were able to get a grant, for the exterior of the building.
Was it leaking?
No, but the roof, but again, we were given money, we were going to be given money, but we had to have a purpose for it. And since this roof looks like it's the original roof that was up there, we figured, hey, if we can get money for the exterior of the building, now, the select board, changed the siding, they repainted the building, so what else is left? It was the roof. Now, we get 5 or 10 more years out of it maybe, so if we're able to get that money, why don't we get it now and put the roof on? And that was how the decision was reached. And then we had to kick in we had a 25% obligation, and that was covered by the painting, by the new siding, removing the siding, putting new siding on. Also this ramp and the roof over that ramp. So that more than covered the 25%. So that's what it was based on, and that's how, we came to those conclusions. But I'm telling you, like, we're looking for people like you who are thinking and noticing things, and, to bring up stuff like that, so that we can pursue grants, for reasonable things.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you. I know it, I use my heat pumps October into the middle of November, and then middle of March into April occasionally. But then they are good through the summer for cooling. But in the summer, you're only talking about cooling down 20, 25 degrees. This time of year, when you're trying to warm 50, 60, 70 degrees, it's unbelievable what it costs to run those.
Yeah, that's why I got 2 in the shop and I don't run them at all in the winter.
It's insane.
I have the guy come out in the spring.
But yet they're pushing
clean
these
them up,
all over
do
the
his
state.
thing, run them, check everything for the air conditioning part of it. I don't turn them on during the winter at all. At all.
Tom, they are pushing, but they don't give you all the information, just like the rebates. You know, like we thought that there would be rebates, and then once we talked to the guys who actually do the installation, you know, they were basically saying, good luck. Like I said before, the one guy said, you would have to spend 3 times the amount of money that you wanna spend right now in order to get that rebate. So that's not worth it, it's not even worth applying for it. The second thing you have to do is you have to claim that those heat pumps, and imagine this, it's gonna be your primary source of heat. And in order to prove that, you have to turn your boiler off. Now, these heat pumps are gonna work at -20, are gonna work at 50%. You know, don't quote me on this, but I think at -5, it's 75%. So, you know, like it's as Rick said, it's mainly for the air conditioning. So we looked at it as you know, like, as free money to put air conditioning in, and also to use nice systems, so. And the systems do come with a 12-year warranty, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott did a good job laying that out. Yes, ma'am.
I heard a rumor today that we have hired a new rec director.
We just went through that with the rec director thing. He has not been
Okay.
terminated, and we have not hired.
Okay. Just curious, like, how does that work?
Well, I will be very blunt with everybody. I did have a discussion with the town's attorney, and we can legally have an interim rec director. When there's large gaps in time to keep a department open and functioning. So, yeah.
I would think someone, okay.
Yes, sir.
Just update, we did a spaghetti dinner for the town, for the couple up in Denmark that lost their house. Raised about $2,100 to $2,300 for them. We did, the snow sledding event out back here. We had 10 to 15 kids that showed up with their parents. They did the snowman build. We had one that did a snowman, one that did SpongeBob, one that did a kitty cat, and then one that did a disco ball with a dance floor. I mean, it went off pretty good. On Sunday night, Jen and I opened up the pop-up warming event, and she was here until the following morning. Nobody showed up while we were here because it was below 0. Other than that, that's all we got so far. We do have a event coming up in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Basketball event where it's parents against the kids in a game of horse. And then we have the Easter dinner that we're doing on April 6th, on Sunday. Whatever day Easter is, that's the day the event is.
Nice. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How many people have we had at the warming center so far?
It gets turned into, the roster gets turned into Lynn at the office with the waiver forms. So.
That's not giving me the answer, I asked you how many.
I'm gonna say.
And my answer was, the roster is provided to Lynn, and she will get you your answer.
Oh, so you don't know, okay.
Not off the top of my head, no. But we have a roster, sign-in roster, and the waivers. So those get turned in after each day that is done. So she would have the accurate count with the roster of names.
Did we purchase the $12,000 fire thing and get that fixed yet?
Yes.
So that's all fixed?
No, it is we're waiting for them to install it. And it was what, 12, 6, 25, 50 or something like that?
Yeah,
12.
12.
12 something, hang on,
Yeah.
I got the invoice here. Okay, hang on a second. You sent it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 12, 6, 25, 80. And that comes with the service contract as well. So the yearly inspections and maintenance.
What was that for?
That's for the fire alarm system in this building.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And then did we get the grant for the generator?
We have not put in for a grant for a generator.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be, I read somewhere it was gonna be grant funded, the generator.
Everything's true on the
We-
internet.
That's why I'm here asking.
Some years ago, we had started that process, and actually, the chief was working that. And I don't remember what happened. It didn't come to fruition. The next generator grant we did was the one for, was placed at Public Works. I will say Joe has worked really hard. We just gave up on a grant opportunity, but it was it was really stringent on qualifying. But that was for this building, interior upgrades, generator, things of that nature. We are gonna continue to look into having a generator for here, because public safety guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the emergency shelter portion of that building is no longer viable because of this downsizing of the square footage. The few years ago when we started that process, it was estimated at 14,000 square feet. We're down to 8. And you know, luckily we just started clearing the lot, but as time goes by, material costs rise, labor costs, all that. We're not really sure. We're hoping to get 8,000 square feet. But due to that, taking away that emergency shelter portion, Joe's working real hard into looking into the grants so that we can get this spooled up so we have that for the town. So, yes, sir.
Well, if we lose the power here for a week sometimes, what do you do to keep this building from freezing? You have a portable you bring in?
We're pretty fortunate because this building and the town office and the fire department, they're on municipal loop. They have priority for power restoration.
Okay.
So, and it's
So you don't need to back up,
it'd
just
take-
keep the heat on.
Yeah, it'd take quite a while for this building to heat sink enough to where it's, we're gonna freeze up and lose. We did have an issue with the old boiler. Geez, that was quite a while ago. That was quite a while, I'd say 8 years, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The boiler quit, and it was when we had like a negative 30-degree snap, and nobody knew. Come down, luckily, only in the boiler room, we had a couple pipes at the joints, they let go, but it was caught extremely early. We were very fortunate.
It's full of glycol too, the whole system.
Okay,
But
that's good.
it did take,
A lot of it, like drums.
yeah, and we just replaced that furnace. That furnace is new.
Well, no, if you've got
3 or 4
glycol in it,
years.
that'll protect it.
Yeah.
And you have an alarm on that notifies someone if the boiler shuts down at night?
I believe the new panel that's down there does that. We used to go through, what was that mechanical place down at Portland? That was set to the alarm. They hooked it to the alarm out front here, that Dickie gets a call on. And I think you were on that list, I'm on the list. There's 3 or 4 people that are on the list, but they hooked it up to that, because that mechanicals place, those people wanted like $35,000 a year to come up and service that panel. It was nuts. So we had, yeah, I think that's it. That was nuts. They did one service up here for us, and then we got Federal Piping, and they subcontracted to this guy that's the electrical wizard, and he unscrewed what they had there and fixed it so that it was tapped into, so that if it does go out, we get alarmed. Yeah, gonna put a warning on the screen over by the entry door. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering, since I noticed that they're cutting the new public safety building a lot.
Yep.
The library had requested a copy of the redrawn survey map. I was wondering if that survey had been done, and can we please have a copy of that map?
We're maintaining the same survey that we had done. The library expressed that they wanted their border to stay the same. So instead of joining it to ours, or us to theirs, which is just a lot line adjustment, there's no need for it. Your border is maintained, so you can have our survey as well. It's essentially, it goes from 0 to like, what is it, 11 foot in a
It's a
pie
little
shape?
more, I think it's like 20.
The
I'll measure
entire
it to get an exact.
length of that piece of property. So nothing's gonna change. It's dead space. So there's no change with either boundary. So everything stayed just like it is.
I was under the impression that the library's line came over here and your line came
No, ma'am.
onto the library's line.
Nope, they didn't intersect. They started off together, and there's like a pie piece
Right,
that
but-
it's just dead space.
Dead space.
It's dead space. Yeah, we did not do anything with the library's boundary. We've done nothing to it. We're not, we didn't do a lot line adjustment to bring our property line to yours. And obviously, we can't move your boundary. We can't do anything with that, that's not ours. So the dead space in between is just that, it's dead space.
So the, survey tape that's on view there right now where they're cutting it, that is the library's line.
Correct.
Right.
That pink tape, that is the line, I think he actually gave them a slight buffer from the exact line.
Yeah, they usually bring it back
Line
a few feet.
depicted on the library.
Well, that's every other
plan.
tree off the line.
Thank you.
They did it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, my neighbor did that. Yep. That's when we found the scrapyard. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
How much have we received in donations so far to the Warming Center?
That gets turned into Lynn as well.
Yeah, I can run a
That's,
report.
she has report for that. There's an actual line item for that as well, that's been created. You have anything?
I'm good.
Good. Okay. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Thanks, folks.